We are TechHub, the home of technology.
Welcome to the second part of the introduction to NoCodeAI agent development. If you have not watched the first part, check it out. Click the link below to watch it if you have not watched it. In this session, we are starting with bringing your agent to life. There's a particular magic in watching something you've imagined come to life. For generations, creating artificial intelligence was the exclusive domain of computer scientists with advanced degrees and years of programming experience. Today, we stand at a remarkable inflection point in technological history, one where anyone with curiosity, creativity, and determination can build sophisticated AI agents without writing a single line of code. This transformative shift in accessible technology represents more than just convenience. It embodies a democratization of innovation itself. Expected explosive growth signals a fundamental reimagining of who gets to be a creator in the digital age. The barriers that once separated dreamers from builders are crumbling, replaced by intuitive interfaces where complex functionality emerges click by click, drag by drop. Bringing your agent to life represents the pivotal moment in your journey where abstract concepts crystallize into tangible, interactive reality. The designs you crafted, the user flows you mapped, and the conversations you scripted now transform from sketches on paper into responsive digital entities. This is where theory meets practice, where planning gives way to construction, and where you discover profound satisfaction in creation. Not through memorizing syntax or debugging cryptic error messages, but through thoughtful configuration and strategic assembly. The excitement of this phase is palpable and multifaceted. You're no longer merely learning about AI agents. You're actively building one. Each feature you configure, each connection you establish, and each logical pathway you construct brings your vision closer to completion. The no-code platform becomes your workshop, its interface your toolkit, and its pre-built modules your raw materials. What makes this experience particularly compelling is the immediate feedback loop. Configure a setting, test the interaction, observe the result, refine the approach. This iterative process mirrors the work of professional developers, but condenses a learning curve from years to weeks, transforming intimidating technical challenges into manageable, achievable steps. Modern no-code platforms like VoiceFlow, Landbot, Bubble, and Make, formerly Negromat, have evolved into sophisticated development environments that rival traditional coding in capability while maintaining remarkable accessibility. These platforms provide visual interfaces where you can see the architecture of your agent laid out spatially, making complex logical relationships intuitive and comprehensible. The cognitive load shifts from remembering programming language syntax to understanding workflow logic and user experience principles, skills that translate directly to real-world problem solving. As you navigate this construction phase, you'll engage with the fundamental building blocks of modern AI systems: natural language processing engines that parse human communication, machine learning models that improve through experience, integration frameworks that connect disparate services, and data management systems that give your agent memory and context. The remarkable aspect of no-code development is that these sophisticated technologies become accessible through graphical interfaces and straightforward configurations rather than requiring deep technical expertise. The journey from concept to functioning prototype typically unfolds across several interconnected stages. You'll begin by familiarizing yourself with your chosen platform's interface, understanding where tools reside, how modules connect, and where different types of functionality live within the environment. Then comes the meticulous work of configuring AI modules, teaching your agent to recognize different types of user inputs, understand contextual variations, and respond appropriately. You'll construct a logical framework that governs your agent's decision-making, the if-then reasoning that determines which path a conversation takes, or which action an automation triggers. Data management emerges as a crucial consideration as you build. Even simple agents need to remember information, retrieve relevant data, or store user preferences. You'll explore how your no-code platform handles these requirements, whether through built-in storage solutions, connections to spreadsheet applications, or integration with dedicated databases. This aspect of development reveals an important truth. Intelligence without memory is merely reaction. True agent capability requires the ability to learn, remember, and contextualize. Perhaps most transformatively, you'll discover how modern no-code platforms enable integration with the vast ecosystem of digital services that surround us. Your agent doesn't exist in isolation. It can trigger email notifications through SendGrid, schedule appointments in Google Calendar, retrieve information from Airtable databases, or post updates to Slack channels. According to research by Forrester, integration capabilities have become the defining feature that separates basic automation from genuinely transformative digital solutions. These connections transform your agent from a standalone novelty into a functional component of a larger digital workflow. Throughout the construction process, you'll inevitably encounter challenges. Configurations that don't behave as expected, integrations that require troubleshooting, or logical flows that need refinement. This debugging process, far from being frustrating, represents some of the most valuable learning. Understanding why something doesn't work teaches you more about system design than successfully implementing something on the first attempt. No-code platforms typically provide testing environments and debugging tools that make this troubleshooting accessible, transforming potential roadblocks into learning opportunities. The practical laboratory component of this phase brings together all these elements into focused, hands-on construction. You'll develop the core functionality of your AI agent based on the designs you created earlier, implementing the primary conversation paths or automation sequences that define your agent's purpose. If your agent requires data handling, you'll establish these connections, perhaps setting up a Google Sheet that your agent queries for information or populates with collected data. Basic integrations allow you to test how your agent interacts with a wider digital ecosystem, whether through sending notifications, updating external systems, or responding to incoming triggers. This construction phase represents more than technical skill development. It cultivates a builder's mindset. You learn to think systematically about user experiences, to anticipate edge cases and unusual interactions, to balance functionality with simplicity. These problem-solving approaches extend far beyond AI development, becoming valuable perspectives applicable to any creative or technical endeavor. The cognitive skills developed through visual programming environments transfer broadly to computational thinking and systematic problem-solving. The democratization of AI development through no-code tools addresses a critical shortage in the technology sector. The demand for AI solutions far exceeds the supply of traditional developers capable of building them. By enabling a broader population to create functional AI agents, no-code platforms don't replace professional developers. Rather, they expand the community of creators and allow technical experts to focus on more complex challenges, while empowering domain experts to build solutions for their specific needs. As you progress through this construction phase, you're not just building an AI agent. You're developing technological literacy, creative confidence, and practical skills that position you at the forefront of digital innovation. The agent you create might serve as a customer service assistant, an educational tool, a productivity enhancer, or a creative experiment. Regardless of its specific application, the process of bringing it to life teaches you that technology is not mysterious or inaccessible, but rather a set of logical, learnable systems that respond to thoughtful design and purposeful configuration. The excitement of creation, that moment when your agent first responds correctly to a query, successfully completes an automation, or seamlessly integrates with an external service, provides intrinsic motivation that propels learning forward. This isn't passive education where concepts remain abstract. This is active construction where every configuration choice has immediate, observable consequences. You're not preparing to build something someday. You're building it now, today, click by click. Welcome to Construction Zone, where your vision takes shape and your AI agent comes alive. Hey there, future AI creators. If you're enjoying this video and learning something new, I've got exciting news for you. This is just a sneak peek. The full version of this course, packed with everything you need to go from beginner to confident AI builder, is available right now at techhubs.com. Here's why you don't want to miss it. Step-by-step guidance that demystifies AI tools, models, and workflows. Hands-on projects that help you build real-world applications. Downloadable resources, cheat sheets, and templates. Community access to ask questions, share progress, and get feedback. Bonus modules on prompt engineering, agentic AI, and ethical design. This isn't just theory. It's a transformation. You'll go from watching AI happen to making it happen. So if you're serious about mastering AI and building tools that matter, head over to techhubs.com and sign up now. Your journey from beginner to AI creator starts today. Let's build something amazing together. And hey, if you thought this free preview was powerful, wait till you unlock the full experience. See you inside. Ready to dive in? Just scan the QR code on your screen to go straight to the full course at techhubs.com. Whether you're on mobile or desktop, it's the fastest way to unlock your transformation. Not ready to enroll just yet? Subscribe for free updates and be the first to know when new modules drop, live workshops open, or exclusive bonuses become available. No spam, just powerful insights and opportunities to grow. There's a world of difference between something that works and something that works beautifully. Your AI agent has taken form, responding to inputs and executing its intended functions. But this initial achievement marks not the conclusion of your journey, but rather the beginning of its most transformative phase. This module represents the critical transition from builder to craftsperson, where rough functionality evolves into polished performance and basic capability transforms into intelligent, responsive excellence. This phase of development mirrors the creative process across all disciplines. A novelist completes a first draft knowing the real work lies in revision. A sculptor shapes the rough form before beginning the detailed work that brings stone to life. Similarly, your functional AI agent now enters its refinement stage, a period of testing, iteration, enhancement, and ethical consideration that elevates it from proof of concept to production-ready solution. This is where good agents become great, where adequate performance transforms into exceptional user experience, and where you develop the critical thinking skills that separate casual creators from thoughtful technologists. The theme of this module, making it smarter, smoother, and more powerful, captures the multidimensional nature of refinement. Smarter speaks to enhance intelligence through personalization, context awareness, and adaptive behavior. Smoother addresses a user experience refinements that eliminate friction, anticipate needs, and create seamless interactions. More powerful encompasses the advanced features and integrations that expand your agent's capabilities beyond its initial scope. Together, these dimensions transform your agent from a functional prototype into a sophisticated digital assistant that delivers genuine value. The significance of thorough testing in AI development cannot be overstated. While traditional software follows predictable logical paths, AI agents operate in the messy reality of human communication, with its ambiguities, variations, and unexpected inputs. The cost of fixing defects increases exponentially through development stages. Bugs caught during design cost pennies a fix, while those discovered post-deployment can cost thousands of times more. This economic reality underscores why dedicated testing phases aren't optional luxuries, but essential investments in quality and sustainability. Testing strategies for AI agents require a nuanced approach that differs from conventional software testing. Unit testing examines individual components in isolation. Does your natural language processing module correctly identify user intents? Do your conditional logic branches execute as designed? Does data retrieval function reliably? This granular approach helps you pinpoint precisely where issues originate, transforming vague, something's not working frustrations into specific, addressable problems. Systems and software, systematic unit testing, and AI applications can reduce downstream errors by up to 65%. User acceptance testing, UAT, introduces the crucial element of real-world interaction. When you test your own agent, you bring inherent assumptions about how it should be used. Fresh users approach it differently. They misunderstand prompts, try unexpected inputs, and reveal assumptions you didn't know you were making. This external perspective proves invaluable. Studies in human-computer interaction consistently demonstrate that creators suffer from the curse of knowledge. Knowing how something works makes it nearly impossible to experience it as a novice user would. Inviting others to test your agent provides a perspective you literally cannot achieve alone. Edge cases and failure points represent some of the most educational discoveries during testing. These are scenarios you didn't anticipate. The user who types in all caps enters nonsensical input to see what happens, or asks questions your agent isn't designed to answer. Rather than viewing these as problems, they're opportunities to make your agent more robust. Every edge case you identify and address makes your agent more resilient and your own thinking more comprehensive. Professional developers spend considerable time deliberately breaking their own creations, knowing that controlled failure during development prevents embarrassing failure. Gathering and analyzing user feedback transforms objective impressions into actionable insights. Modern no-code platforms often include built-in analytics that track conversation flows, identify where users abandon interactions, and highlight frequently misunderstood intents. Qualitative feedback, users describing their experience in their own words, provides context that pure metrics cannot capture. The combination of quantitative data, what happened, and qualitative insights, why it happened, creates a complete picture that guides meaningful improvement. As emphasized in designing for behavior change, the most effective digital products emerge from continuous feedback loops where real usage informs iterative refinement. Iteration represents the heartbeat of modern development methodology. The agile approach that dominates software development rests on a fundamental truth. Initial designs are rarely optimal, and improvement emerges through repeated cycles of building, testing, and refining. Your no-code environment makes iteration remarkably accessible. Adjustments that might require hours of recoding in traditional development often take minutes of reconfiguration. This rapid iteration capability allows you to test multiple approaches, compare results, and converge on solutions through experimentation rather than speculation. As you refine core functionality, this module also introduces advanced features that substantially enhance your agent's capabilities. Personalization transforms generic interactions into tailored experiences. Your agent remembers user preferences, adapts its communication style, and provides contextually relevant responses. Context awareness allows your agent to understand not just individual messages, but the broader conversation flow, maintaining coherence across multiple exchanges. These capabilities, once the exclusive domain of enterprise-grade AI systems, have become accessible through no-code implementations. Variables and memory represent fundamental tools for creating sophisticated interactions. By storing information during conversations, a user's name, their stated preferences, previous interactions, or collected data, your agent transcends simple question and answer exchanges to engage in genuinely contextual dialogue. According to a research in conversational AI, context-aware systems show 43% higher user satisfaction rates compared to stateless interactions. This dramatic improvement comes from the simple fact that remembering context mirrors human conversation, making interactions feel more natural and less repetitive. Analytics and performance monitoring provide visibility into how your agent actually performs in practice. Which conversation paths do users follow most frequently? Where do they get stuck or abandon interactions? How long do typical sessions last? These metrics inform optimization decisions, helping you focus improvement efforts where they'll have maximum impact. The data-driven approach to enhancement letting actual usage patterns guide development rather than assumptions, represents a cornerstone of modern user experience design. Perhaps most critically, this module addresses the ethical dimensions of AI development. As your agent becomes more capable and potentially reaches real users, questions of responsibility, bias, privacy, and transparency demand careful consideration. The ethical challenges of AI aren't abstract philosophical questions. They're practical concerns with real consequences. An agent that inadvertently encodes gender bias in its responses, mishandles sensitive data, or makes opaque decisions that affect people's opportunities represents not just technical failure, but ethical failure. Recognizing and mitigating bias in AI systems has emerged as a central challenge in the field. Bias can enter through training data, design assumptions, or unexamined defaults in pre-built components. Research from MIT's Media Lab demonstrates that even well-intentioned developers inadvertently introduce bias when they don't actively work to prevent it. In no-code development, where you're assembling pre-built components, understanding what biases might exist in those components and how to test for their effects becomes essential. This doesn't require advanced expertise. It requires thoughtful consideration of who your agent serves, what assumptions it makes, and whose perspectives might be underrepresented. Privacy and data security considerations grow increasingly important as regulations like GDPR and CCPA establish legal requirements for data handling. Even in no-code development, you're responsible for understanding what data your agent collects, how it's stored, who has access to it, and how long it's retained. Many no-code platforms provide built-in compliance features, but utilizing them requires awareness of the issues they address. The principle of data minimization, collecting only information genuinely necessary for your agent's function, represents both good ethics and good practice. Transparency and explainability address whether users understand how your agent works and why it behaves as it does. Should your agent identify itself as AI rather than human? Should it explain why it asks certain questions or makes particular suggestions? These questions lack universal answers, but asking them demonstrates the thoughtful approach that responsible AI development requires. Research in AI ethics consistently emphasizes that transparency builds trust, while opacity breeds suspicion and misuse. The practical laboratory work this week synthesizes these concepts into hands-on experience. Thorough testing of your agent, including inviting peers to interact with it, reveals issues you'd never discover through solo testing. The requirement to identify and fix at least 3 bugs or improvement areas ensures you engage meaningfully with the refinement process rather than declaring victory prematurely. This mirrors professional development practices where code review and collaborative testing are standard quality assurance steps. Implementing an advanced feature, whether personalization through variables, analytical tracking, or enhanced context awareness, stretches your technical capabilities while demonstrating the substantial impact these enhancements create. The difference between an agent that treats every interaction as isolated and one that remembers context fundamentally transforms user experience. This hands-on implementation cements abstract concepts into practical understanding. The ethical checklist component introduces systematic thinking about responsible AI. By explicitly reviewing your agent against ethical criteria, checking for potential biases, examining data handling practices, considering transparency in user interactions, you develop habits that serve you throughout any future work with AI systems. This isn't about achieving perfection, an impossible standard, but rather about cultivating awareness, establishing review processes, and committing to ongoing evaluation as your agent evolves. Module represents a maturation point in your development journey. You're no longer simply learning tools or following tutorials. You're making sophisticated judgments about quality, usability, ethics, and capability. The skills developed during this refinement phase extend far beyond the specific agent you're building. You're learning how to test systematically, how to gather and interpret feedback, how to iterate methodically toward improvement, and how to consider the broader implications of the technology you create. The transformation from functional to exceptional rarely happens through single dramatic changes. Instead, it emerges through accumulated small improvements, a conversation flow refined for clarity, an error message rewritten for helpfulness, a variable implemented to reduce repetitive questions, a bias tested for and corrected. Professional developers understand that polish comes from attention to detail, and excellence emerges from caring enough to make something not just work, but work wonderfully. As you progress through this week, you'll likely experience moments of both frustration and satisfaction. Testing will reveal issues you didn't anticipate. Users will interact with your agent in ways you didn't expect. Some advanced features will prove more challenging to implement than expected. These challenges aren't setbacks. They're the crucible in which genuine capability develops. Every bug you fix teaches you to anticipate similar issues in future work. Every piece of feedback you incorporate trains your intuition about user needs. Every ethical consideration you wrestle with deepens your sense of responsibility as a creator. The no-code revolution hasn't eliminated the need for skill, judgment, or refinement. It's democratized access to tools previously available only to specialists. This accessibility carries responsibility. As more people gain the ability to create AI agents, the collective quality of those agents depends on creators who care about doing things right, who test thoroughly, iterate thoughtfully, implement responsibly, and continually ask how their creations might impact users. This module challenges you to embody that standard of care. Your agent isn't finished when it first responds correctly. It's finished when it responds well, handles edge cases gracefully, treats users respectfully, protects their privacy, and performs reliably under varied conditions. This commitment to excellence, more than any specific technical skill, defines the difference between builders who create disposable novelties and creators who develop valuable, trustworthy tools. Welcome to the refinement phase, where good becomes great, and your agent evolves from functional prototype to polished, powerful, and responsive. Hey there, future AI creators. If you're enjoying this video and learning something new, I've got exciting news for you. This is just a sneak peek. The full version of this course, packed with everything you need to go from beginner to confident AI builder, is available right now at techhubs.com. Here's why you don't want to miss it. Step-by-step guidance that demystifies AI tools, models, and workflows. Hands-on projects that help you build real-world applications. Downloadable resources, cheat sheets, and templates. Community access to ask questions, share progress, and get feedback. Bonus modules on prompt engineering, agentic AI, and ethical design. This isn't just theory. It's a transformation. You'll go from watching AI happen to making it happen. So if you're serious about mastering AI and building tools that matter, head over to techhubs.com and sign up now. Your journey from beginner to AI creator starts today. Let's build something amazing together. And hey, if you thought this free preview was powerful, wait till you unlock the full experience. See you inside. Ready to dive in? Just scan the QR code on your screen to go straight to the full course at techhubs.com. Whether you're on mobile or desktop, it's the fastest way to unlock your transformation. Not ready to enroll just yet? Subscribe for free updates and be the first to know when new modules drop, live workshops open, or exclusive bonuses become available. No spam, just powerful insights and opportunities to grow. The future of no-code AI development stretches toward horizons that seemed distant just years ago. Generative AI tools, exemplified by systems like ChatGPT, Claude, Midjourney, and DALL-E, have democratized capabilities once confined to research laboratories. Many no-code platforms now integrate these generative models, allowing creators to build agents with sophisticated language understanding and generation capabilities, without training models themselves. According to Gartner, by 2027, over 50% of enterprise software will incorporate generative AI capabilities, compared to less than 5% in 2023. This explosive growth signals a fundamental shift in how AI capabilities become accessible to non-specialists. Emerging trends point toward increasingly sophisticated personalization, where agents adapt not just explicit user preferences, but to communication styles, learning patterns, and contextual needs. Multimodal capabilities, agents that process and generate text, images, audio, and video, are transitioning from cutting-edge research to accessible no-code implementations. Voice interfaces have matured substantially, with natural language processing enabling fluid spoken interactions that rival human conversation quality. Research from Stanford Human-Centered AI Institute suggests we're entering an era where the limiting factor in AI applications shifts from technical capability to creative imagination. The democratization of AI through no-code tools carries profound societal implications. When creating intelligent systems requires only creativity and domain knowledge rather than advanced technical training, innovation becomes accessible to vastly more people. Teachers can build educational assistants tailored to their students' specific needs. Small business owners can deploy customer service agents previously affordable only to large corporations. Community organizations can automate outreach and support services. Healthcare providers can create patient engagement tools customized to their practice. This democratization doesn't replace professional development, but complements it, enabling solutions for long-tail problems that wouldn't otherwise justify development investment. Resources for continued learning abound in the NoCodeAI ecosystem. Platform-specific communities like VoiceFlow Community, Bubble Forum, and Makes Community Hub provide spaces where creators share solutions, troubleshoot challenges, and showcase projects. General no-code communities such as MakerPad, no-code founders, and the no-code subreddit foster cross-platform learning and inspiration. YouTube channels like No-Code MBA and Build Camp offer tutorial content ranging from beginner to advanced. Podcasts like the No-Code MVP and Building with No-Code explore both technical and entrepreneurial dimensions of no-code development. Formal education resources have expanded beyond individual courses to comprehensive learning paths. Platforms like Coursera, Udemy, and LinkedIn Learning offer structured curricula in no-code development, often taught by practitioners actively working in the field. Many no-code platforms maintain their own certification programs, validating expertise, and providing structured advancement pathways. The emerging field of citizen development has spawned academic research, conference tracks, and professional associations dedicated to understanding and advancing accessible software creation. Community engagement extends beyond learning to collaboration and mutual support. Online communities allow you to ask questions when stuck, share discoveries that might help others, and stay current with platform updates and emerging best practices. Many significant innovations in no-code development emerge from community members experimenting, sharing findings, and collectively pushing boundaries of what's possible. Contributing to these communities, answering questions, sharing templates, documenting solutions, reinforces your own learning while supporting others on similar journeys. The practical laboratory work brings your course full circle. Deploying your agent, making it accessible to actual users, even in a test environment, transforms it from private project to public tool. This crossing of the threshold from development to production, however modest, represents a genuine achievement. Seeing others interact with something you created, especially when they derive value from it, provides satisfaction that motivates continued creation. The deployment experience, even if limited, gives you confidence that you can not just build things, but launch them into the world. Your project showcase synthesizes weeks of work into a coherent presentation. The 5-minute format demands distillation. Identify the essential elements that communicate your agent's value and your development journey. This constraint teaches communication, discipline valuable far beyond the specific presentation. Preparing the showcase helps you recognize how much you've learned. Articulating to others helps you appreciate how far you've come. The nervous energy before presenting and the satisfaction after completing it mirror emotional patterns creators experience across all domains. Brainstorming your next project channels the momentum you've built toward future creation. What would you build if you applied everything learned here? What limitations of your current agent might you address in a more ambitious version? What entirely different problems might benefit from agent-based solutions? This forward-looking exercise prevents the anticlimax that sometimes follows completing major projects. Instead of wondering what now, you have concrete ideas ready to pursue. Research on goal setting and motivation confirms that establishing subsequent objectives during project completion maintains engagement and prevents the post-achievement lull that can stall continued growth. Joining a community represents perhaps the most important step for sustained development beyond this course. Communities provide ongoing learning, motivation during difficult problems, celebration of achievements, and perspective that individual work cannot provide. They transform solitary building into collaborative discovery. Many successful no-code creators attribute their continued growth not to isolated study, but to active participation in communities where members inspire, challenge, and support each other. The skills you developed extend beyond the specific technical capabilities of building AI agents. You've learned to think systematically about user needs and system design. You've developed troubleshooting skills applicable to any technical challenge. You've experienced the creative process of moving from abstract idea through concrete implementation to finished product. You've encountered and addressed ethical considerations increasingly central to technology development. These meta-skills, the abilities underlying specific technical tasks, serve you regardless of what you build next. Your relationship with technology has fundamentally shifted through this course. Technologies you once used passively have become tools you wield actively. Systems that seem mysterious have become comprehensible assemblies of logical components. The divide between people who build things and people who use things has collapsed. You're now among the builders. This shift in identity, more than any particular technical skill, represents the course's most valuable outcome. When you see technology as something you can shape rather than something that shapes you, your relationship with the digital world transforms entirely. The next steps vary by individual, but share common themes. Some will apply these skills to professional contexts, building tools for employers, launching consulting practices, or creating products for specific markets. Others will pursue creative or educational applications, building agents that teach, entertain, or facilitate community engagement. Still others will treat agent building as one tool among many in broader technical or entrepreneurial journeys. All paths validate the core insight that accessible creation tools democratize innovation and empower individuals to solve problems meaningful to them. The future you're looking toward represents more than your personal trajectory. It's part of a broader technological and social transformation. As AI capabilities become more accessible, the landscape of innovation shifts from questions of what's technically possible to what should we build and who benefits. Your participation in this shift, your thoughtful approach to building responsibly, and your continued growth as a creator contribute to shaping this future in positive directions. The agents you build, the problems you solve, and the care you bring to your work ripple outward in ways that extend beyond individual projects. This final week asks you to embrace both completion and continuation, to celebrate what you accomplish while recognizing it as foundation rather than summit. Your agent is launched, but its story continues. Your course concludes, but your development journey has barely begun. The world needs thoughtful creators who build technology that serves human needs, respects human dignity, and expands human capability. Having completed this journey, you're positioned to be among those creators. Welcome to Launch Day, to the beginning of what comes next, and to your future as a builder in the age of accessible AI. The tools are in your hands. The community stands ready to support you. The only question remaining is, what will you create? The moment of launch carries a unique emotional resonance for creators. After weeks of designing, building, testing, and refining, your AI agent stands ready to step beyond the controlled environment of development into the dynamic reality of actual use. This transition from private creation to public deployment represents both culmination and commencement, the completion of your initial journey and the beginning of your agent's working life. More profoundly, it marks your own transformation from student to practitioner, from learner to creator, from someone who uses technology to someone who builds it. Launch and beyond captures the full scope of this pivotal phase. Launch speaks to the technical and logistical challenges of deployment, making your agent accessible to its intended users through appropriate channels and platforms. Beyond acknowledges that deployment isn't the finish line, but rather the starting point for an ongoing relationship with your creation, encompassing monitoring, maintenance, evolution, and ultimately, the question of what comes next. This module synthesizes everything you've learned while opening doors to future possibilities that extend far beyond this initial project. The theme, sharing your creation with the world and looking ahead, reflects the dual nature of this final phase. Sharing involves both the practical mechanics of deployment and the personal act of presenting your work to others, articulating your design decisions, and demonstrating the value your agent provides. Looking ahead encompasses both the immediate future of maintaining and improving your current agent and the broader horizon of what you might create with the skills and confidence you've developed. Together, these perspectives transform completion into continuation, turning an endpoint into a launching pad. Deployment options for AI agents have expanded dramatically as no-code platforms have matured. The choice of deployment method fundamentally shapes how users interact with your agent and what context it serves. Website embedding represents perhaps the most common deployment strategy, where your agent appears as a chat widget on web pages, providing immediate assistance to visitors. According to research from Drift, businesses using embedded chat agents see average response time reductions of 90% and conversion rate increases of up to 45%. These compelling statistics explain why embedded agents have become ubiquitous across commercial websites. They transform passive information seeking into active engagement. The technical process of embedding varies by platform, but generally involves copying a snippet of code provided by your no-code tool and pasting it into your website's HTML. This simplicity belies the sophisticated functionality it enables. Your agent loads dynamically, maintains conversation context, and operates independently of your website's core code base. For users without direct website access, many no-code platforms offer hosted landing pages where your agent can live as a standalone destination, eliminating the need for separate web infrastructure entirely. Integration with messaging platforms opens different deployment possibilities, meeting users where they already communicate. Slack integration allows your agent to function as a workplace assistant, answering employee questions, automating routine requests, or facilitating information retrieval without requiring users to navigate separate systems. WhatsApp deployment enables customer service scenarios where businesses support clients through their preferred messaging channel. According to Meta's business research, over 175 million people message businesses on WhatsApp daily, making it a crucial channel for customer engagement. Similar integrations exist for Facebook Messenger, Telegram, Discord, and other platforms, each serving distinct user communities and use cases. Microsoft Teams integration has gained particular prominence in enterprise contexts, where workplace collaboration platforms have become central to organizational communication. An agent deployed within Teams can schedule meetings, retrieve company information, facilitate onboarding processes, or automate approval workflows, all within the environment where employees already spend their workday. This embedded presence eliminates the friction of switching between applications, substantially increasing adoption and utilization rates. Standalone deployment creates independent agent applications access through unique URLs or dedicated interfaces. This approach suits scenarios where the agent itself represents the primary service rather than an auxiliary feature. Educational tutoring agents, personal productivity assistants, or specialized consultation tools often work best as standalone deployments where users intentionally visit to access the agent's specific capabilities. The choice between embedded, integrated, and standalone deployment ultimately depends on your agent's purpose and where its target users naturally spend their digital time. Monitoring agent performance after deployment transforms from optional curiosity to essential responsibility. Unlike static software that functions identically until updated, AI agents learn from interactions, accumulate conversation data, and potentially develop unexpected behaviors as they encounter real-world usage diversity. Proactive monitoring allows you to identify issues before they become problems, understand usage patterns that inform improvement, and validate that your agent delivers its intended value. Research in software engineering emphasizes that post-deployment monitoring costs a fraction of remedial fixes required when issues go undetected. Key metrics for agent monitoring span both technical and user experience dimensions. Technical metrics include uptime. Is your agent consistently accessible? Response latency. How quickly does it reply? Error rates. How often do technical failures occur? And integration stability. Do connections to external services remain functional? These operational metrics ensure your agent's basic reliability. User experience metrics examine conversation completion rates. What percentage of interactions reach successful conclusions? Intent recognition accuracy. Does your agent correctly understand what users want? Escalation frequency. How often do users need to reach human support? And user satisfaction ratings when collected through feedback mechanisms. Most no-code platforms provide built-in analytics dashboards that visualize these metrics, making monitoring accessible without requiring data science expertise. Tools like Dashbot Bot Analytics and Chatbase offer specialized analytics for conversational agents, providing insights into conversation flows, identifying commonly misunderstood inputs, and highlighting drop-off points where users abandon interactions. The goal isn't collecting data for its own sake, but developing actionable intelligence that guides continuous improvement. Maintenance and updates for no-code agents differ from traditional software maintenance in important ways. Because you're working with visual configurations rather than code, updates often involve adjusting conversation flows, refining intent recognition, updating response content, or modifying integrations. Tasks accomplished through the platform's interface rather than through code deployment. This accessibility means you can iterate rapidly based on monitoring insights, testing improvements quickly and rolling back changes if they don't perform as expected. The agility this provides represents one of no-code development's most valuable characteristics. Regular maintenance tasks include reviewing conversation logs to identify misunderstood intents, updating content to reflect new information or offerings, testing integrations to ensure they remain functional as external services evolve, and refining responses based on user feedback. Many developers establish rhythms for this maintenance. Weekly reviews of key metrics, monthly content updates, quarterly feature evaluations. This systematic approach prevents a set-and-forget mentality that leads to degraded performance over time. As emphasized in the DevOps Handbook, treating deployed systems as living entities requiring continuous care produces substantially better outcomes than viewing deployment as a conclusion of development work. Showcasing your project serves multiple purposes beyond simple presentation. Articulating your agent's purpose, explaining design decisions, and demonstrating functionality forces you to synthesize your work into coherent narrative. This synthesis deepens your own understanding. Teaching others teaches ourselves. The presentation skills you develop prove valuable across professional contexts. The ability to communicate technical work to diverse audiences represents a highly sought capability regardless of career path. Research in educational psychology confirms that presentation requirements enhance learning outcomes by encouraging metacognitive reflection and structured knowledge organization. Effective project presentations balance demonstration with explanation. Show your agent in action, but also articulate why you made key design choices. what challenges you overcame, and what you learned through the process. Discuss both successes and limitations candidly. Acknowledging what your agent doesn't yet do well demonstrates sophistication and invites constructive feedback. The goal isn't impressing others with flawless execution, but engaging them with authentic creative work and the insights gained through creating it. Mitigation strategies. Despite these formidable challenges, meaningful solutions exist. Creating a more ethical no-code AI ecosystem requires coordinated action across multiple domains: technical design, education, policy, and culture. Embedding ethical defaults in platforms. The most powerful intervention point is the platform itself. By building ethical considerations directly into the architecture and user experience, platforms can guide users toward responsible practices without requiring deep expertise. Bias detection and mitigation tools. Platforms should integrate automatic bias testing that runs when users train models or deploy systems. These tools could flag potential discriminatory outcomes across protected characteristics and prompt users to review and address issues before deployment. For example, when a user creates a hiring tool, the platform might automatically test whether candidate rankings differ significantly by gender or ethnicity and alert the user to disparities. Privacy by design features. Rather than making data collection default, platforms should implement privacy-preserving architectures that collect minimal information, anonymize data where possible, provide clear consent mechanisms, and auto-delete data that's no longer needed. These defaults protect both users and the people their applications affect. Ethical templates and guardrails. Platforms can offer pre-built templates for common use cases that incorporate ethical best practices. A customer service chatbot template might include respectful language processing, appropriate escalation to humans, and protection against manipulation. By starting with ethical templates, users begin from a foundation of responsibility rather than building from scratch. Constraint systems. For high-risk applications, platforms might implement soft or hard constraints that prevent certain types of deployments without additional verification. Systems that make consequential decisions about people might require users to complete ethics training, provide use case documentation, or obtain approval before going live. User education and tooltips. Education must be woven throughout the user experience, meeting people where they are rather than requiring separate training programs they might skip. Contextual learning. When users perform actions with ethical implications, platforms should provide just-in-time education through tooltips, modal dialogues, or brief tutorial videos. As someone uploads training data, a tooltip might explain, the patterns in this data will influence your AI's decisions. Consider whether this data represents the outcomes you want to perpetuate. These micro-lessons accumulate into substantive ethical literacy. Interactive ethical scenarios. Platforms could gamify ethics education by presenting users with hypothetical situations and asking them to identify potential issues. These scenarios make abstract principles concrete and help users develop ethical intuition they can apply to their own projects. Community best practices. Creating spaces where no-code AI developers share experiences, lessons learned, and ethical considerations fosters a culture of responsibility. Platforms might highlight exemplary projects that demonstrate ethical excellence, creating aspirational model for others to emulate. Certification programs. For users deploying high-stakes applications, platforms could offer optional certification programs that provide deeper education in exchange for enhanced platform capabilities or official recognition. This creates positive incentives for ethical learning. Audit logs and explainability modules. Transparency mechanisms help users understand their systems and provide accountability when things go wrong. Decision logging. Systems should automatically log key decisions and the factors that influence them. When an AI denies a loan application, for instance, the log should capture which variables were most influential. This creates a record that users, affected individuals, and auditors can review. Plain language explanations. Platforms should translate technical operations into clear explanations that non-expert users and affected individuals can understand. Rather than showing mathematical coefficients, explanations might say, this application was declined primarily because the debt-to-income ratio exceeded threshold limits, with credit history as a secondary factor. Counterfactual analysis. Explainability tools could show users what would need to change the AI to reach a different decision. If the applicant's income increased by $10,000 annually, this application would likely be approved. This helps users understand their systems and helps affected individuals understand potential paths forward. Periodic ethics audits. Platforms might automatically generate periodic reports showing how systems perform across different demographic groups, whether outcomes have shifted over time, and where potential fairness concerns exist. These automated audits surface issues that users might otherwise miss. Policy and regulation. While technical solutions are crucial, appropriate governance frameworks provide essential guardrails and clarify responsibilities. Clear liability frameworks. Regulations should establish who bears responsibility when no-code AI systems cause harm, balancing accountability across platform providers, users, and other stakeholders. Clarity here protects affected individuals while giving creators and platforms predictable legal environments. Risk-based requirements. Rather than one-size-fits-all regulation, policies should calibrate requirements to the risks involved. A chatbot providing restaurant recommendations requires different oversight than a system making healthcare decisions. Risk-based approaches focus resources where they matter most while avoiding unnecessary burden on low-risk applications. Mandatory impact assessments. For high-risk deployments, regulations might require users to complete algorithmic impact assessments documenting the system's purpose, potential risks, mitigation strategies, and affected populations. This forces creators to think through ethical implications before deployment. Right to explanation. Policies should grant people the right to understand decisions that significantly affect them and to challenge automated decisions through human review processes. This creates accountability and prevents AI from becoming an unquestionable authority. Platform standards and certification. Regulatory bodies might establish standards for no-code AI platforms, certifying those that implement adequate safeguards. This helps users, customers, and affected individuals identify responsible platforms while creating competitive incentives for ethical excellence. The path forward. The ethical challenges of no-code AI development are neither simple nor solved, but neither are they insurmountable. The same technological ingenuity that created these powerful tools can be directed toward making them responsible, transparent, and fair. The same human creativity that built accessible AI platforms can build accessible ethics education. The same collaborative spirit that drives open-source development can drive collective wisdom about responsible use. The democratization of AI need not mean the democratization of harm. Instead, it offers an opportunity to democratize ethical practice, to create a future where everyone who builds with AI, regardless of their technical background, does so with awareness, intention, and care for those their systems affect. This requires commitment from all stakeholders. Platform providers must prioritize ethics alongside usability. Educators must make ethical literacy accessible and engaging. Policymakers must craft frameworks that protect without stifling. Users must approach these powerful tools with humility and responsibility. Together, we can build a no-code AI ecosystem that empowers everyone while protecting everyone. The technology is already here. The question is not whether no-code AI will transform our world. It already is. The question is what kind of transformation we will create. One marked by carelessness and harm, or one characterized by thoughtfulness and care. The choice, ultimately, is ours to make. Hey there, future AI creators. If you're enjoying this video and learning something new, I've got exciting news for you. This is just a sneak peek. The full version of this course, packed with everything you need to go from beginner to confident AI builder, is available right now at techhubs.com. Here's why you don't want to miss it. Step-by-step guidance that demystifies AI tools, models, and workflows. Hands-on projects that help you build real-world applications. Downloadable resources, cheat sheets, and templates. Community access to ask questions, share progress, and get feedback. Bonus modules on prompt engineering, agentic AI, and ethical design. This isn't just theory. It's a transformation. You'll go from watching AI happen to making it happen. So if you're serious about mastering AI and building tools that matter, head over to techhubs.com and sign up now. Your journey from beginner to AI creator starts today. Let's build something amazing together. And hey, if you thought this free preview was powerful, wait till you unlock the full experience. See you inside. Ready to dive in? Just scan the QR code on your screen to go straight to the full course at techhubs.com. Whether you're on mobile or desktop, it's the fastest way to unlock your transformation. Not ready to enroll just yet? Subscribe for free updates and be the first to know when new modules drop, live workshops open, or exclusive bonuses become available. No spam, just powerful insights and opportunities to grow.